Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. Today, we are going to discuss a very significant topic in education. It's related to the exam preparation for government jobs and how so many kids waste so many years being stressed about getting a good government job due to its prestige. So, and how art of living techniques, courses, and programs, and the pujas and the homas and the sankalpas of the Vedic Dharma Sansthan can help us overcome that stress and make even better careers, if not a government job, even better careers. So let's start a discussion. So why do so many students preparing for government jobs feel stressed and hopeless? Rather, the root cause of stress among aspirants is attachment to results and fear of failure. When one ties their self-worth to exam ranks, the mind loses balance. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji says, examine your mind before any exam. Students today study hard but forget to rest their minds. Lack of meditation, irregular sleep, and comparison with peers drain enthusiasm. The race for limited seats and reservation based quotas increases anxiety. The solution begins within calming the breath, centering the mind, and realizing that one's identity is beyond marks or merit. With regular practice of Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, clarity arises, energy stabilizes, and confidence returns. Now, how can the Sudarshan Kriya help students appearing for UPSC and state-based PSC exams? There, the Sudarshan Kriya works on the subtle level of prana, the life force during exam preparation. Excessive thinking and worry reduce pranic energy. Sudarshan Kriya recharges every cell through rhythmic breathing. It flushes out fatigue and restlessness caused by long study hours. Research across medical universities shows improved concentration, emotional balance, and reduced cortisol levels in practitioners. Many UPSC toppers and civil service aspirants credit their mental clarity and focus to this practice. It helps the brain move from agitation to alertness and eventually to calm awareness. When the nervous system is balanced, attention improves and creativity flows effortlessly. It transforms study from struggle into sadhana. Now, what role can Padma Sadhana play in increasing focus and physical strength? Now, the Padma Sadhana designed by Gurudev is a set of asanas done gracefully in silence. Students often study for 8 to 10 hours, leading to stiffness and fatigue. The Padma Sadhana opens energy channels, strengthens the spine, and increases oxygen flow to the brain. Physically, it relieves back pain and enhances posture. Mentally, it sharpens alertness when done at a sunrise or before study. It synchronizes the body's rhythm with nature's calmness. In ancient Gurukulas, yoga was compulsory before learning the Vedas. The same principle applies here. First, align body and mind, then absorb knowledge. A still body invites a still mind. A still mind retains more knowledge. Now, how can the Shakti Kriya empower aspirants to overcome failure and fear? There, the fear of failure paralyzes intelligence. The Shakti Kriya awakens the dormant energy within. Through guided breath and subtle awareness, it restores the self belief and removes the inner blocks. Many aspirants, after repeated attempts, develop subconscious resistance. They study, but with a hidden fear. Shakti Kriya cleanses those impressions, replacing doubt with dynamism. It builds a sense of surrender, doing one's best without anxiety about outcomes. Students who practice it report a newfound enthusiasm even after setbacks. Real strength is not about never falling, it's about rising every time you fall. With the same smile, Shakti Kriya instills that spiritual courage. Now, what is the importance of seva or selfless service during exam preparation? Isn't it a distraction? The seva is not a distraction, it is purification. When one does seva selflessly, the ego softens and the stress melts away. Preparing for exams often makes one self centered. Seva shifts the focus from me to we. It opens the heart and gives purpose beyond marks. In the ashram, we have seen students teaching village kids or serving food after puja. They return to their studies recharged and joyful. Gurudev says, when you serve, your prayers are answered faster. Seva builds leadership, communication, and emotional intelligence, all invaluable in public service roles. A true officer must first be a sevak. Now, how does the ancient practice of the trikals and they help maintain a daily discipline? Rather, the trikals under the morning, noon, and evening prayers is a time-tested routine for mental purity. It increases and creates structure and sacredness in one's stay. For students, it's a reminder that learning is sacred, not mechanical. The Sandhya mantras invoke Surya, Agni, and the divine within to guide one's intellect or the Gayatri mantra. This habit builds regularity, waking early, studying in calm hours, and winding down with gratitude. Over time, it cultivates mindfulness and inner order. Even 5 minutes of chanting Gayatri thrice a day steadies the mind. Such students glow with tejas, the inner radiance born from discipline. Now, can meditation really replace the need for long hours of study? There, the meditation doesn't replace study, it enhances its quality. A tired mind can read 10 pages and retain nothing. A calm mind can read one page and remember it fully. Meditation improves the cognitive efficiency, it helps the brain process faster and retain longer. It's like sharpening the knife before cutting. Students who meditate regularly experience reduced procrastination, better memory recall, and emotional stability before exams. Gurudev beautifully says, meditation makes your mind like a laser beam, focused, clear, and powerful. 10 minutes of meditation a day can transform 10 hours of study into joyful absorption. Now, how do the Vedic pujas and homas contribute to mental peace for students? The pujas and the homas purify the environment as well as the mind. The Agnihotra, the Navgraha Homa, and the Saraswati Puja are especially beneficial for students. The sacred fire of the Agni absorbs negativity, while the chants vibrate at frequencies that calm the nervous system. It's not superstition, it's a sound science. Sound and intention influence consciousness when done with faith. These rituals align one's energy with universal harmony. Students who attend homas regularly report lighter moods, clearer focus, and deep restful sleep. The ritual reminds them that they are supported by divine grace. They study, that study too is a sacred yajna. Now, how does the Gayatri Japa elevate a student's intellect and intuition? The Gayatri Mantra is the essence of all Vedas. It prays for illumination of the intellect. Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. The regular chanting refines speech, enhances clarity of thought, and awakens intuition. Modern neuroscience shows that repetitive sacred sounds harmonize both brain hemispheres. Many aspirants find answers to complex problems after Gayatri Japa sessions, not through logic, but through intuitive insight. The vibration of the Om Bhurbhuva Swaha cleanses layers of mental fog. It transforms learning into wisdom. When intellect is guided by intuition, success follows effortlessly. The Gayatri Japa is thus the highest study companion. Now, many aspirants lose confidence after multiple failures. How can the Sanyam sadhana help? Then the Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 means mastery over senses and emotions. The Sanyam sadhana in the Art of Living tradition includes silence, fasting, and deep meditation. It resets one's system completely. Failure affects the mind deeply, but silence restores it. In silence, one hears the inner voice again. The ego that says, I failed, dissolves into awareness that says, I am complete. The sadhana helps students regain balance, forgiveness, and acceptance. When they return to preparation, they do so without baggage. True success is not just passing an exam, it's maintaining dignity and peace regardless of the outcome. Now, how can students handle anxiety during exam results or interviews? The anxiety arises when we project our fears into the future. Meditation helps one live in the present moment. Before interviews or results, aspirants can practice 3 rounds of pranayama, deep breathing, followed by 5 minutes of silence. This stabilizes the heartbeat and reduces adrenaline. Sudarshan Kriya and guided meditations by Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji are powerful tools to shift from panic to poise. Gurudev says, confidence is the quiet assurance that the universe is with you. When students realize that results do not define their worth, anxiety melts. Going into an interview with calm awareness makes answers natural and spontaneous. The fragrance of confidence comes from inner peace, not from external preparation alone. Now, how can the Upanayana or the sacred thread initiation ceremony be relevant for modern students? The Upanayana is not just a ritual, it marks the beginning of a disciplined learning. In ancient times, every student entering higher education underwent a Upanayana to symbolize dedication to study and purity of life. The sacred thread reminds one to live by truth, self restraint, and devotion to knowledge. The Gayatri Mantra taught during the ceremony purifies thought patterns and aligns one's mind with a higher intelligence. Even today, the essence remains relevant commitment, purity, and mindfulness. When a student honors a symbolic thread daily through meditation, japa, and right conduct, the inner light of learning shines brighter. Modern education must rediscover the sacred bond between wisdom and responsibility. Now, what can be done when students experience burnout after years of failed attempts? Burnout is not just physical, it's emotional exhaustion from constant effort without joy. Gurudev says you cannot pour from an empty cup. The first step is rest, deep conscious rest. Through meditation, nature walks, and silence, the same sadhana of level 1 and level 2 retreats help aspirants drop mental baggage. Breathing techniques restore prana, the vital energy lost in stress. When energy revives, the enthusiasm returns. Instead of giving up, students can explore seva, teaching, organizing events, or contributing to society. Service reconnects them with purpose. Many have found that new careers and opportunities after taking this pause. Burnout is the body's message to realign with joy, not a signal to quit life. Now, how can the Agni Karam, the fire offering, influence the mental state of aspirants? Now, the Agni Karam, the daily fire offering, is both symbolic and scientific. The fire represents awareness, offering ghee and mantras signify surrendering one's ego and desires. The fragrance and sound vibrations purify the air and the mind. For students performing or attending Agni Karam builds discipline, devotion, and detachment from results. The rhythmic chanting stabilizes brain waves, while the act of offering cultivates humility. In the Vedic Samsan, many young aspirants participate in morning Agni Karyam. Before study, they report improved focus, reduced anger, and inner steadiness. When the inner fire of awareness burns bright, the confusion disappears. The Agni Karyam teaches how to convert anxiety into prayerful action. Now, how can daily Sandhya Vandanam help in balancing modern student life? Yeah, the Sandhya Vandanam performed thrice daily brings alignment with natural cycles. In the rush of modern study schedules, students often lose connection with sunrise and sunset rhythms. This imbalance disturbs the body clock and mind. The Sandhya Vandanam re-establishes harmony. The pranayama done during the ritual oxygenates the brain, while Gayatri Japa at dawn energizes the intellect. The evening practice relaxes the mind for restful sleep. Even 5 minutes at dawn and dusk is enough to refresh the spirit. The Sandhya Vandanam reminds us that learning is sacred. It begins with gratitude to the divine light that illumines the intellect. Regular practice gives us serenity amidst chaos. How can students transform competition into cooperation through spiritual understanding? Now, the competition breeds jealousy, cooperation breeds growth. The ego says, I must win. The wisdom says, let all succeed. When students meditate and do seva, they experience interconnectedness. Gurudev often reminds you, life is not a race, it's a celebration. In satsangs and volunteer groups, the aspirants learn to share resources and encourage each other. This collective spirit reduces mental pressure. When you genuinely wish good for others, a strange thing happens. Your own success becomes effortless. Cooperation is not weakness, it is strength rooted in confidence. The true civil servant must first learn this art of selfless cooperation. Now, how do Art of Living's youth programs help students develop employable skills? Before meditation and Kriya, the Art of Living runs the Yes Plus, the Youth Empowerment and Skills programs that train students in communication, teamwork, emotional intelligence, and leadership. Many aspirants who couldn't clear government exams joined as volunteers, later becoming successful entrepreneurs, teachers, or NGO workers. Through Seva projects, they learned event management, digital skills, and problem solving. Stress free minds learn faster and think creatively. These programs bridge the gap between education and employability. Gurudev says education is incomplete without human values. You trained in both meditation and skills can face any job market with resilience and grace. Now, how can the Bhagavad Gita wisdom support aspirants emotionally? The Gita is the manual for mental balance in challenging times. Arjuna faced confusion before battle, just as students face doubt before exams. Lord Krishna's message, do your duty without attachment to results, is the essence of freedom from stress. Daily study of one shloka builds inner resilience. Chapters on equanimity, self control, and devotion are especially relevant for aspirants. The Gita teaches how to remain centered amid success and failure. The verse Samatvam Yoga Uchate, equanimity is yoga, is the key. When one learns to remain steady in both outcomes, no disappointment can shake the mind. That is a true education. Now, how can failure be seen as divine redirection, not rejection? In life, rejection often precedes redirection. Gurudev says, when one door closes, nature opens at 10 others. Many aspirants discover hidden talents like writing, teaching, public speaking after failing in exams. Meditation gives the courage to see beyond narrow goals. It opens the heart to divine timing. What looks like failure is often the universe protecting you from something smaller, preparing you for something greater. When the mind is calm, one sees purpose in every setback. Those who trust this divine plan walk with dignity even when the results are unfavorable. They become examples of grace under pressure. Now, what message would you give to parents of students preparing for civil services? There, the parents play a crucial role in shaping the mental health of aspirants. Often, parental pressure amplifies stress. We advise parents to encourage, not compare, to listen and not lecture. In a way, involve children in spiritual practices, attend homas, meditate together, chant Gayatri, create an atmosphere of acceptance at home. Success should be celebrated, but failure should be embraced with equal compassion. Gurudev says, love is the greatest education. When parents express faith in the child's potential, the child's confidence blooms. Encourage seva and time in nature, not just screen bound study. A happy, balanced mind learns faster than a fearful one. Now, how can the aspirants handle the intense peer pressure in their coaching centers and online study groups? Now, the peer pressure often comes from insecurity and comparison. In crowded coaching hubs, everyone measures worth by mock test scores. His Holiness Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji says comparison kills joy. Meditation brings awareness that everyone's journey is unique. When the mind is calm, others' progress becomes an inspiration, not a threat. Seva also helps dissolve ego, serving peers instead of competing with them, builds compassion, practicing Sudarshan Kriya before study, stabilizes emotions, helping students focus on their growth instead of others' results. True competition is with one's own yesterday, not with someone else's today. Many students feel isolated during preparation. How can they stay emotionally connected? The isolation can quietly harm mental health. Ancient rishis balance solitude with satsang. Aspirants should join weekly satsangs or online spiritual gatherings to recharge emotionally. Listening to bhajans, participating in group meditations, and attending homas keeps the heart open. Seva again becomes a bridge. When one serves others, loneliness disappears. A warmth of community uplifts even in failure. Remember that tapasya or discipline should not become dryness. A smile, a small act of service, or chanting with others can light the entire inner world. Togetherness is divine medicine for isolation. Now, how can one use breath work to manage anger and frustration during long preparation? The breath mirrors emotions when angry. The breath is shallow and rapid. When peaceful, it's deep and rhythmic. Simple pranayamas like Nadi Shodhan, alternate nostril breathing, and Bhramari or humming breath calm the nervous system within minutes. Gurudev teaches that mastering the breath is mastering the mind. During stressful study hours, 5 minutes of conscious breathing can reset emotions completely. Many aspirants have avoided burnout just by adding morning pranayama to their schedule. When the breath flows smoothly, patience grows, frustration drops, and learning becomes effortless. Now, how can Seva help students discover alternative careers if government jobs don't work out? Now, the Seva reveals the hidden talents. Many volunteers who once aimed for civil services later became teachers, entrepreneurs, counselors, and social workers. Organizing pujas, youth workshops, or rural service projects builds skills in leadership, management, and communication. Employers value such qualities. The spirit of service also builds a strong moral foundation and asset in any profession. In fact, Gurudev often says, don't wait to serve after success, serve now, and success will follow. Through seva, one learns real world problem solving with compassion. It's a spiritual internship for life itself. How can the practice of silence or mana benefit aspirants? There, the silence is not the absence of sound, it's the presence of inner clarity. During mana, the mental chatter slows down and hidden stress surfaces and resolves. The art of doing Sasayam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 or the silence retreats have helped thousands of students experience renewed focus. After 2 to 3 days of silence, the thought patterns reset and memory retention improves drastically. The mind becomes sharper, lighter, and more intuitive. In ancient Gurukula, silence was essential between learning sessions. It allowed knowledge to sink in. In modern preparation, too, silent reflection is as vital as study. Now, how can the devotion or bhakti help overcome despair in tough times? When effort fails, devotion uplifts. The bhakti transforms helplessness into surrender. Singing bhajans, reading Ramayana or Vishnu Sahasranama, or meditating on one's deity brings comfort. A mind that bows cannot break. Gurudev says prayer begins where logic ends. Many aspirants who lost everything, the attempts, the time, the money, found new strength through prayer. Bhakti is not escapism, it's a courage in its highest form. It reconnects you with the divine intelligence that runs the universe. When you let go, grace takes over. Now, can you explain how pujas like the Saraswati Puja enhance learning capacity? There, that the Saraswati Puja honors the goddess of wisdom, speech, and intuition. During the ritual mantras such as the Om Aim Saraswati Namaha awaken the subtle energy governing learning. The students who perform or attend this puja feel renewed enthusiasm and sharper concentration. The vibrations of the veena, conch, and chanting create a sattvic or pure atmosphere that cleanses the mental fog. Keeping books near the altar symbolizes humility towards knowledge. Such rituals psychologically condition the brain to treat study as sacred, not burdensome. When reverence enters learning, the memory and insight naturally expand. Now, how can daily meditation and Kriya improve decision making? Negative decision fatigue is real for aspirants choosing subjects, strategy, and schedules. Often confuses them. Meditation clears the clutter of overthinking. It brings intuition, knowledge that arises without analysis. So, Darshan Kriya enhances this clarity by balancing both hemispheres of the brain. With regular practice, decisions become spontaneous yet wise. Gurudev says when the mind is pure, decisions are perfect. Many aspirants used to doubt their choices now move with conviction after meditation. It's not about over planning, it's about inner alignment with what feels right. Now, how can ancient dharmic education principles be adapted to modern exam synthesis? Now, the ancient education was holistic, it trained intellect, character, and spirit. Students studied grammar, logic, philosophy, and dharma together. Today's system focuses on memorization, not realization, introducing Vedic practices like morning prayer, meditation, and ethical storytelling can humanize education again for aspirants. It means preparing not only for exams but for life. Imagine coaching centers beginning each day with a Gayatri mantra or 5 minutes of meditation. Discipline would blossom effortlessly. True education refines behavior, not just the brains. Integrating dharmic wisdom creates calm, compassionate officers for tomorrow's India. Now, what is your advice to aspirants who feel they have wasted years in preparation? That nothing is wasted. Every effort polishes the soul. The patience, the discipline, and the resilience developed through years of study are invaluable life skills. Gurudev says failure is fertilizer for growth. Those who meditate realize that no experience is futile. Each setback teaches humility, endurance, and empathy. Quality is essential for any noble profession. Many former aspirants now guide others, run NGOs, or teach mindfulness, all rooted in lessons from their preparation journey. When you see life as a continuous school, there are no failures, only evolutions. How can students manage digital distractions and excessive use of social media? Jagadav, the digital overload scatters the mind. Constant scrolling weakens attention span and creates an unconscious comparison. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji says technology is a good servant but a bad master. The key is awareness. Meditation helps regain control over impulses by increasing mindfulness. Students can follow the 3R rule: restrict, replace, and reflect. Restrict unnecessary apps, replace idle scrolling with the breathing exercises, and reflect for 5 minutes daily on how time was spent. Taking a weekly digital detox day allows the brain to reset. When the inner world becomes richer, the outer screen loses power. Use technology to learn, not to escape. Now, how important is sleep in balancing study and performance? Yeah, the sleep is sacred. The Vedas call it the Nidra Devi, the goddess of restoration. Inadequate sleep dulls intellect and weakens memory. Students often burn midnight oil, believing long hours mean success, but without rest, retention collapses. A regular schedule aligned with sunrise and sunset keeps mind and body in balance. Chanting Om or doing a Brahmari Pranayama before bed calms the nervous system. Avoid screens an hour before sleeping. Deep sleep after meditation rejuvenates more than hours of restless slumber. Remember, knowledge settles in silence and rest, not in exhaustion. How can diet and food habits influence a student's concentration? Now, the food affects the mind directly. A sattvic diet of fresh fruits, vegetables, greens, and minimal stimulants enhances clarity and focus. Heavy, oily, or processed food makes the mind sluggish. Gurudev advises eating light, seasonal, and vegetarian meals during study periods. Fasting once a week on fruits or light khichdi balances body elements. Water intake should be regular to keep prana flowing. Avoid excess caffeine. It gives a short burst of energy but leads to irritability. Mindful eating with gratitude before meals makes digestion efficient. The mind becomes calm and the stomach is peaceful. How can mantra chanting scientifically reduce stress? Now, the mantras are not mere sounds, they are precise vibrations that tune consciousness. Scientific studies show that chanting Om synchronizes the brain's alpha waves, inducing relaxation. Gayatri, the Mahamrityunjaya, or the simple Om Namah Shivaya harmonize the nervous system and balance emotions. The repetition anchors wandering thoughts and brings the mind to the present moment. In our Vedic Dhamma whom our students chant in groups, the collective resonance magnifies calmness. Mantras act like mental medicine, healing anxiety, fear, and restlessness. Regular chanting rewires the stress into serenity. Now, how can the surrender help students release over control and anxiety about outcomes? There, the surrender is not weakness, it's the highest intelligence. When students over control, they burden themselves with impossible expectations. Surrender means doing your best and leaving the rest to divine will. Gurudev often says faith is knowing that whatever happens is for your good. Once this understanding blossoms, fear of results vanishes. The mind becomes light, creative, and centered after sincere effort. Surrender brings miracles, unexpected opportunities, renewed confidence, and grace. Surrender transforms worry into wonder. It makes the journey joyful, not just the destination successful. Now, what is the role of guru or spiritual guidance for aspirants? A guru is the dispeller of darkness, gu is darkness, and ru is the remover. Every aspirant needs guidance, both academic and spiritual. While teachers prepare the intellect, the guru awakens the inner strength. A guru's presence infuses faith, removing doubts that drain the energy. Even reading His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Jesus' wisdom daily acts as silent mentoring. The guru's grace aligns the destiny, much like a compass guiding a traveler. The Guru doesn't take away responsibility, he multiplies clarity. In Vedic tradition, Guru is the bridge between effort and enlightenment. Now, how can chanting of Hanuman Chalisa help aspirants overcome obstacles? Now, the Hanuman symbolizes courage, devotion, and wisdom, qualities every aspirant needs. The chanting of Hanuman Chalisa daily fills one with energy and focus. The rhythmic repetition activates the solar plexus, the Manipur chakra, enhancing determination. The verse Buddhihin Tanu Janike is a humble prayer for intellect. Many students begin study sessions after reciting it, feeling more confident. The Chalisa's vibrations dispel fear and lethargy, converting doubt into dynamism. It's both devotion and therapy, empowering the heart with fearless strength to face life's exams as gracefully as written ones. Now, how can the aspirants maintain hope after years of struggle without results? Jagadav, hope is a sacred flame that must never die. In every Vedic ritual, a small lamp is kept burning even when all else is dark. Similarly, aspirants should protect their inner lamp through daily sadhana, chanting Gayatri, attending satsangs, and doing seva rekindle enthusiasm. The Bhagavad Gita says, Karmanya Vadikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana. You have the right to work, not to the fruits. When this truth sinks in, despair dissolves. Hope is not expectation. It's trust that life will unfold beautifully in time. Now, how can the students deal with societal judgment and relatives' pressure after repeated failures? Societal judgment can wound deeply, but meditation strengthens inner resilience. Gurudev says, don't live by others' opinions, live by your inner truth. People talk today and forget tomorrow. What remains is your peace. When criticism comes, breathe deeply, smile, and let go. It's their perception, not your reality. Students can channel pain into seva, helping others in need transforms a hurt into purpose. The dignity of effort is greater than any result. Once you are centered, outer opinions lose their sting. True respect begins with the self respect. Now, what long term life lessons do aspirants gain from this entire journey? Yeah, the civil service journey is not just an exam, it's a path of inner evolution. Aspirants learn patience, self discipline, and perseverance. With spiritual practices, they gain equanimity. Success or failure no longer define them. They rediscover that happiness lies not in results but in sincerity of effort. They learn that real service begins from the heart, not from an office. Many become leaders in various fields because they cultivated steadiness through meditation. In the end, the journey reveals the true goal to serve society with compassion, wisdom, and peace. How can the Sudarshan Kriya transform the mindset of a student preparing for competitive exams? The Sudarshan Kriya is one of the most profound techniques taught by His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. It brings harmony between body, mind, and emotions for a student. Long hours of study often lead to irregular sleep patterns, fatigue, anxiety, and overthinking. The Sudarshan Kriya oxygenates every cell, enhances clarity of thought, and instills a sense of calm alertness. When students practice it daily, they experience improved focus and memory retention. Instead of feeling dull or defeated after repeated attempts, they develop inner strength and resilience. Many students who failed several times earlier have shared that after starting Sudarshan Kriya, they approach exams with a peaceful mind and self confidence. It transforms stress into enthusiasm and competition into cooperation with one's own potential. Now, what role does Seva or selfless service play in shaping the personality of government job aspirants? Now, the Seva builds humility, empathy, and social awareness, qualities that every civil servant must possess. Through Seva, a student steps out of a self centered anxiety and connects with the needs of society. When aspirants engage in teaching underprivileged children, participating in cleanliness drives, or volunteering in art giving service projects, they experience firsthand the meaning of true leadership. It makes them emotionally strong and socially sensitive. Seva breaks monotony, provides perspective, and teaches teamwork. Skills invaluable for any administrative role. Even if one doesn't clear the exam, Seva creates purpose and belonging, helping you to stand tall with dignity. Now, how does the Padma Sadhana complement long study hours and mental fatigue? Now, the Padma Sadhana is a graceful series of yoga postures that deeply relaxes the body and rejuvenates the nervous system. Many students complain of stiffness, back pain, or fatigue from sitting long hours. Practicing Padmasadhana for just 30 minutes opens energy channels, improves blood circulation, and increases alertness. The sequence also includes meditation and chanting of Om, which balances both hemispheres of the brain, enhancing analytical and creative skills equally. Students who start their mornings with Padmasadhana report better concentration and positivity throughout the day. It acts as a natural antidote to exhaustion and burnout. Now, how do the Vedic Dhammas and pujas and homas help reduce negative emotions during failures? Now, the Vedic Dhammas organizes powerful Vedic rituals like the Ganapati Homa, Navgraha Homa, and the Saraswati Puja, which create positive vibrations in the environment and purify the subtle mind. When students participate or witness these sacred ceremonies, they feel a sense of surrender. The sound frequencies of mantras heal inner restlessness and invoke divine blessings. The rituals are not merely symbolic, they align individual consciousness with universal intelligence. This alignment dissolves fear, guilt, and hopelessness that often follow exam failures. Instead of self blame, students rediscover faith and inner peace. Homas bring auspiciousness and emotional strength to begin again. Now, can meditation alone help students deal with performance anxiety? Yes, meditation is one of the most powerful ways to overcome performance anxiety during exams. The mind tends to overthink about outcomes, comparisons, or past failures. Meditation trains the mind to stay in the present moment. Gurudev often says the secret of success is to be totally present. With regular practice, students become centered, composed, and alert even under pressure. Scientific research shows that meditation lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and increases gray matter in regions linked to focus and memory. In simple words, it helps students perform at their peak without feeling drained or nervous. How does the practice of the Gayatri Japa aid intellectual clarity and wisdom? The Gayatri mantra is called the essence of all knowledge. Chanting it daily purifies the intellect of buddhi and opens the mind to higher understanding. For students, chanting Gayatri Japa enhances memory, comprehension, and grasping power. The rhythmic vibrations stimulate the pineal gland and harmonize brain activity. Beyond academics, it also brings humility and gratitude, qualities necessary for balanced decision making. When done with sincerity and awareness, Gayatri Japa becomes not just a ritual but a daily dialogue with the light of wisdom within. It helps the aspirants remember that true success lies in purity of purpose. Now, what is the importance of tricals and therefore disciplined living? They have read that tricals and that refers to the practice of remembering the divine and aligning one's mind at three key times of the day: the dawn, noon, and dusk. These are natural transitions in nature, and meditating during these times harmonizes our inner rhythm with the cosmos. For students, it helps establish discipline, time management, and inner order. Morning Sandhya brings alertness, noon practice balances energy, and evening Sandhya releases mental load. Regular practice cultivates mindfulness and routine, crucial for consistent preparation. It transforms a day from mechanical studying to a sacred rhythm of learning. Now, how does the Agni Karam and Sandhya Vandan bring focus and purity of intention? Now, the Agni Karam, the offering to sacred fire, and Sandhya Vandanam, the Vedic daily ritual, are ancient techniques to purify the environment and consciousness. Fire symbolizes awareness. When a student offers prayers or ghee into the fire while chanting mantras, the act represents burning away distractions, doubts, and inertia. The mind becomes focused and pure. The Sandhya Vandanam practice after Gayatri Japa keeps one's energy balanced and thoughts disciplined. These practices train the mind to act with devotion, patience, and purpose. Quality is vital for students facing long preparation journeys. Now, what message does His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji give to students who fail repeatedly in exams? Now, the Gurudev beautifully says, Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a stepping stone to success." He encourages students to celebrate effort, not just results. According to Gurudev, every failure teaches resilience, humility, and patience. He reminds aspirants that the universe always opens alternative doors. Sometimes a greater purpose awaits beyond an exam. Through practices like Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, one learns to detach from results and focus on self growth. Gurudev inspires you to trust in their abilities and never measure their worth by a scorecard. Now, how can the Art of Living youth leadership training programs help in career alternatives? The Youth Leadership Training Program, the YLTP of Art of Living, empowers students with life skills, communication, leadership, and entrepreneurship abilities. Many aspirants who couldn't clear government exams found new direction through this program. Some started NGOs, became teachers, or built startups. The program includes seva projects, confidence building activities, and public speaking sessions that ignite the self belief. It shows that employment isn't limited to government jobs. Service, creativity, and teamwork can open countless doors. The program aligns youth with their inner potential and practical skills to succeed with dignity and purpose. Now, how can the Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 programs strengthen a student's inner discipline and focus? Neither the Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2, a deep meditation retreat of the art of living, is designed to cultivate restraint, silence, and awareness. Students preparing for government exams often battle constant distractions, social media, anxiety, and self doubt. The Sanyam helps one transcend these tendencies. During the retreat, participants observe silence or mana and practice advanced meditations under the guidance of Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. The mind gradually becomes still, sharp, and sensitive. After such training, aspirants find it easier to stay consistent in their study schedules and make disciplined lifestyle choices. The greatest outcome of Sanyam is mastery over one's impulses, an essential quality for future leaders and administrators. Now, how can the Shakti Kriya help students overcome laziness and boost vitality? Now, the Shakti Kriya is an ancient and powerful energy practice taught in the art of living. It awakens the dormant energy centers, the chakras, and revitalizes the prana in the system. Students who complain of fatigue, lack of motivation, or sluggishness find immense benefit in this technique. The Shakti Kriya balances the nervous system and brings alertness without stress. It helps aspirants wake up early, study longer with enthusiasm, and maintain positivity. By energizing the body and calming the mind, it removes both physical and mental inertia. Gurudev says when energy is high, your vision expands. This Kriya ensures exactly that, a vibrant, focused, and inspired mindset. Now, how does the Upanayam connect modern students with the ancient wisdom? There, the Upanayana, the sacred thread ceremony, marks a student's initiation into the pursuit of knowledge and discipline. In the Vedic Dharma tradition, it symbolizes a new birth into learning. For today's youth, participating in or understanding this ritual connects them with the lineage of seekers and scholars who valued integrity, self control, and reverence for learning. It reminds aspirants that education is not merely for employment but for enlightenment. By reviving such sacred traditions under Vedic Dhamma's guidance, students gain a spiritual foundation for their intellectual pursuits, a balance of material success and inner growth. Now, how does combining meditation with the puja enhance concentration? There, the meditation calms the mind, puja uplifts the heart. When students combine both, they harmonize their intellect and emotions. Many aspirants face a restless mind or emotional instability during preparation. Performing puja with devotion before meditation creates sacredness and surrender, making the mind ready for stillness. It's not about ritual alone, it's about aligning thought, emotion, and action with divinity. Such harmony enhances attention span, comprehension, and retention power. The synergy of puja and meditation trains the brain to stay centered, an invaluable tool during long study sessions or intense exams. Now, what are the benefits of learning Agnihotra or fire rituals for students? Now, the Agnihotra, the Vedic fire ritual performed at sunrise and sunset, purifies the environment and uplifts the mind. Scientific studies have shown that Agnihotra smoke reduces bacterial count in air and releases ions that enhance mental alertness for students. Performing or attending Agnihotra instills discipline, regularity, and serenity. It also builds gratitude toward the elements of nature, the fire, air, water, earth, and space. The subtle vibrations during Agnihotra balance brain hemispheres and bring clarity of thought. When a student studies in such a purified atmosphere, learning becomes effortless and joyful. Now, how do the Art of Living programs encourage respect and dignity even in failure? There, the Gurudev's wisdom beautifully teaches that one's self worth is independent of success or failure. Through courses and satsang, students learn that dignity comes from effort and sincerity, not outcomes. The Art of Living community provides emotional support, laughter, and perspective. Failure then becomes an opportunity for inner growth. Same activities allow students to contribute meaningfully to society even when facing personal disappointment. The sense of belonging and purpose restores confidence. Many have shared that they found new careers, happiness, and courage after letting go of exam results and embracing life's broader purpose. Now, how does the chanting mantras like Om Namah Shivaya help calm anxiety? The mantra Om Namah Shivaya carries a profound vibrational power. It aligns the five elements within us and releases suppressed emotions. For anxious students, chanting this mantra acts like mental detoxification. It relaxes the nervous system and stabilizes mood. Regular chanting improves focus, reduces insomnia, and brings emotional balance. Gurudev explains that mantra is sound that heals. The rhythmic repetition rewires the brain for peace and stability. Before exams or interviews, 5 minutes of mantra chanting can calm fear and bring centered confidence. It connects aspirants with the vast reservoir of inner silence and faith. Now, how can the meditation retreats in the Art of Living ashram help government exam aspirants? The Art of Living International Center in Bengaluru and various state centers offers meditation retreats that recharge the mind and spirit. Many aspirants take breaks from hectic preparation to attend these retreats and return renewed. The serene environment guided meditations, yoga, and satsangs dissolve accumulated stress. In the silence of the ashram, students rediscover their motivation and clarity. They also meet youth from different parts of India, sharing experiences and support. The retreat becomes not just a rest but transformation, a shift from pressure to peace, from competition to collaboration. Now, how do the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan teachings restore faith among struggling youth? There, the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan revives the ancient Sanatana Dharma knowledge in simple, practical ways. For youth struggling with repeated exam failures, these teachings bring perspective on karma, dharma, and surrender. The wisdom that you are not a doer but an instrument of the divine removes burden and guilt. Listening to discourses on Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, or Yoga Vasistha fills them with hope and wisdom. When young aspirants realize that their efforts are sacred offerings, not mere survival struggles, they face challenges with calm dignity. The Sansthan provides a spiritual anchor in a world of uncertainty. Now, how can parents of aspirants benefit from the programs too? Yeah, the parents often experience equal stress and helplessness when their children prepare for competitive exams. Art of Living programs and Vedic rituals benefit them immensely. Through Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, parents learn patience and emotional resilience. Participating in homas or pujas creates harmony in the home atmosphere. When parents are calm and positive, children feel supported rather than pressured. Gurudev often says a happy parent raises a confident child. Families who meditate together create environments of acceptance, laughter, and strength, making the journey toward exams more joyful for everyone. Now, how does the Art of Living's approach to holistic education differ from traditional exam coaching? Yeah, the traditional coaching focuses mainly on the intellect, memorization, practice tests, and competition. The Art of Living's approach nurtures the whole being, a body, mind, and heart and spirit. Through yoga, pranayama, meditation, and seva, students learn how to manage their emotions, thoughts, and energy levels. Instead of studying under stress, they study in joy. His Holiness Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji emphasizes that calmness is the mother of creativity. When students are mentally calm and emotionally balanced, learning becomes deeper and more intuitive. Thus, this holistic education ensures that even if an aspirant doesn't secure a government job, they still emerge as confident, capable, and compassionate individuals who can excel in any field. Now, how do the Art of Living Happiness and Yes Plus courses build emotional strength for students? Rather, the Happiness Program and the Yes Plus or the Youth Empowerment and Skills courses introduce powerful breathing techniques, meditation, and life skills. These courses help students release accumulated stress, build resilience, and overcome fear of failure. Participants often share that after the course, they feel light, joyful, and focused. The sessions on self awareness and gratitude teach students to handle pressure gracefully. The group energy, laughter, and practical wisdom shared in these programs build emotional strength and optimism. Students learn that happiness is not a result of success, it's the foundation for success. This shift in perspective brings calm confidence in every challenge. Now, how does the principle of Karma Yoga inspire students preparing for public service? The Karma Yoga teaches selfless action, doing one's duty without attachment to results. For students preparing for public service, this principle is deeply relevant. It reminds them that true service begins with purity of intention, not personal gain. When aspirants study with the spirit of Karma Yoga, they experience less anxiety and more fulfillment. Even if they fail, their effort becomes a sacred offering. Gurudev often says, do your 100% and leave the rest to the divine. Such surrender transforms hard work into worship and keeps the mind steady amidst uncertainty. It builds the very spirit needed for honest governance. Now, how does understanding the Bhagavad Gita help aspirants face challenges? The Bhagavad Gita is the ultimate guide for facing life's tests, internal and external. For students, it teaches emotional stability, focus, and detachment from outcomes. Arjuna's dilemma on the battlefield mirrors a student's confusion before exams. Lord Krishna's guidance to act with clarity without fear applies perfectly. Art of Living and Vedic Dhamma conduct Gita wisdom sessions that simplify these teachings. When aspirants internalize these lessons, they gain unshakable inner strength that they understand that the life's real exam is not just clearing a post, but mastering the mind. Such clarity turns pressure into purpose. How can participating in satsangs help reduce loneliness during exam preparation? Many students isolate themselves during long months of preparation, leading to loneliness and depression. Satsang, those spiritual gatherings with music, meditation, and wisdom bring connection and joy. Singing bhajans releases endorphins, reducing anxiety and elevating mood. Listening to Gurudev's talks fills the heart with hope and purpose. In a satsang, students experience a belonging in community, realizing that life is larger than exams. These joyful evenings often become emotional anchors, reminding you that divine grace and friendship are always near. Satsangs rejuvenate the mind and dissolve the heaviness of solitude. How can the time spent in seva help develop employability skills? The Seva is not just service, it's a skill building in action. Through Seva projects, students learn leadership, communication, project management, teamwork, and problem solving. Whether organizing a cleanliness drive, teaching village children, or volunteering at an event, each act sharpens real world abilities. Seva also enhances emotional intelligence, understanding people, handling stress, and adapting quickly. Many organizations today value such soft skills as much as academic performance. Students who engage in Seva carry humility and confidence that stand out in interviews. It's learning by serving a hallmark of true education. Now, how do the pujas like the Saraswati Homa help aspirants in intellectual pursuits? The Saraswati Homa invokes the blessings of Goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of wisdom, speech, and creativity. The sacred fire offerings and mantras remove mental blockages and awaken intuitive intelligence. Aspirants who participate in such rituals report improved concentration and a calmer mind before exams. The Vedic vibrations purify the environment and strengthen resolve. Performing the Saraswati Hum at the beginning of a study phase or before interviews aligns students with divine wisdom. It's not superstition, it's an ancient science of energy and intention that nourishes intellect and devotion simultaneously. Now, how do the Art of Living teachers and mentors support aspirants personally? The Art of Living faculty across India are not just teachers but mentors and guides. They provide personal attention, emotional counseling, and spiritual direction to students facing self doubt or burnout. Many faculty members themselves have gone through competitive exams or corporate jobs before dedicating themselves to service, so their guidance is practical and compassionate. They encourage balanced routines, steady meditation, physical activity, and service. Their mentorship helps students manage expectations and stay connected to purpose. This human connection ensures that no aspirant feels alone in their journey. Now, how can youth integrate modern coaching with ancient wisdom harmoniously? Now, the integration lies in balance. Modern coaching trains the intellect, ancient wisdom trains the mind and soul. Youth should combine efficient, steady techniques with daily spiritual practices like yoga, pranayama, meditation, and mantra chanting. This blend brings both outer skill and inner stability. Many aspirants attend art of living sessions alongside their coaching and report improved focus, time management, and emotional health. Gurudev often says science and spirituality are two wings of the same bird. When both wings are strong, success becomes natural and effortless. Now, what is your message to all aspirants who are anxious about their future? To every young aspirant, remember your worth is infinite beyond any exam. Do your best with dedication, but never lose your smile. The divine has a unique plan for you. Trust it. If you pass, serve with humility. If you fail, rise with dignity. Practice meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, and Seva. They will guide you through every uncertainty. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar reminds us faith is the bridge between your dreams and your destiny. Walk the bridge fearlessly with calmness in your heart and clarity in your mind. Success, inner and outer, is assured, Jai Gurudev.